You're listening to the DTF podcast, Down to Fitness, where we turn personal trainers into fitness professionals. We're your hosts, Dayton McPherson and Kyle Radoon. Yo, what's up, everybody? Dayton McPherson and Kyle Radoon back here on the podcast. Welcome back to DTF. On today's episode, we will be talking about trainer certifications. Do you need them? What to get? Should you be getting multiple? So we're going to blast off with that one today. Hopefully it will be a quick one because Kyle and I are super busy. We get a lot to do, so we wanted to bang this one out today. What's up, Kyle?
Oh, man, busy as all hell. Full-time training. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We recorded our episodes on Sunday mornings.
Yep.
I just did 2 training sessions on a Sunday morning.
On Sunday?
In 10 years, I have trained on Sunday mornings once before. And today would be number 2.
I don't know if I've ever trained on Sundays, maybe once or twice. And I know that we're filming this episode before the 4th of July weekend is going to come out a couple of weeks later. But do you train on holidays? I always do.
Always.
Always.
If my clients, as long as they're not like, oh, I'm going away for 4th of July weekend or whatever. Yeah, I train on holidays, especially things like 4th of July. Like, let's be honest, guys. You train at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. Like, I don't care if Tuesday you have fireworks. Like, we're not taking off the 4th of July.
Yeah. I like training on holidays too, because typically most people have it off. So I can jam a ton of sessions in there and maybe make the rest of my week a little lighter, and vice versa to that. If I take the day off, then I'm jamming in 5 days of work in 4 days, and that's miserable. So actually every single one of my team members at my gym are working 4th of July, and we all have pretty full schedules for the most part. So
kudos to you guys. Cause that's how it should be. And you make a good point. When it's a holiday, my 5, 6, 7 PM clients can come in at 9 AM. If you're smart, put all those clients in the areas you can't find holes for, spots to fill those holes. So like 11 AM on Monday, when everyone's normally at work, like they're off. Get them in. Finish your day early. Get yourself a light day, but get in all your clients and take a day off later in the week. Like,
exactly.
No brainer. So hey, before we dive into trainer experience and certifications and things, you were telling me a little story about a consult you just had the other day, and I think it's a interesting one to share because I've been getting a lot of messages in our DMs from trainers as things start to pick up here, where people are like, "Hey, I have this client and this happened," or trying to figure out how to handle this situation. And we're getting very nuanced situations. And I think it's cool to talk about maybe some of the consults we have and that we go through and share those experiences. So this one, man, this one got me going. I want to feel bad. I want to shed a tear or two, but I also want to laugh really hard. So,
So I did not do the consultation. This was one of my other coaches that did it. So the woman called, super excited to start, wanted to do personal trainings. She said straight up, I want to do it for 6 months. I want to learn the basics. I want to know everything. And then if I feel comfortable, I would like to then go on my own and see if I can make my own program. Consult went great because I always listening. I'm like a little bird. I'm always fluttering around. Consult went great. My coach, she can talk to anybody. She's wonderful. Demo training session out on the floor went great. She did an awesome job with her professional recommendation, showed her what the prices and the investment was. And the woman started to cry, like visible tears, like get your tissues out. And she said, well, I saw online that it was $69. And my coach was like, yes, that's for the gym membership. You then have to pay for personal training on top of that. And she thought that the $69 was for unlimited personal training every single month. So no, but coach did a really good job trying to, calm her down a little bit, see what we can do to figure everything out. So from there, like, there's no program that you can pitch to this woman at all with personal training. Nothing. She like not even one time. Like, what's one session going to do? I would rather have you not train just one single session and then see you later. Goodbye. Like, you're not going to learn anything. That's basically like taking your money. We don't want to do that. We want to teach you. We want you to get better. So what's the next step? Small group. It's not $69 a month. It's a couple $100 a month, but it's not $1,000 a month either. So instead, we're going to get her into small group, get her going with that group environment, make it more fun. She's going to need a lot of attention. I don't like putting people who are untrained directly into small group training. I like to have them do a little bit of personal training first and then go into small group. But this was kind of that gap and a bridge where we can help her and meet her budgeting needs. And we got a sticker shock, and that's okay. I'm perfectly happy with being the most expensive gym in my area because I've got the good coaches for it. I'm a damn good leader. We've got a beautiful facility. So when people come in, they're like, these prices are crazy. For you, maybe, like, if you didn't see the value in it, but this is what it is. This is why we charge it. You can go down the street to Planet Fitness, Global, Edge, World, Retro, whatever, or you can come to us and you could have fun and be with a good team and be in a beautiful facility with people who give a shit, or you can go somewhere else with people who don't. That the choice is yours. So there's my little story.
Yeah, true. Well, you definitely pay for the quality. I think the sticker shock thing is something that happens all the time. And not that this is a topic for today's episode, but I am interested. Now, she saw the $69 in like an ad for unlimited like usage to the gym. Where was
Correct.
the confusion on her like $69? Like what, for someone listening, like what could maybe we have done better to let her know before she sat down? Like, do you guys hide your prices? Because I know a lot of in the industry, we hide the prices versus show off the prices. Like, how do you guys do that?
So we give membership prices online. It's just $69 month to month, no commitment, nothing. Cancel at any time, $69 a month. And it's an auto pay. We don't do paid in fulls. It's just month to month. We don't give out our personal training prices. And here's the reason for that. We have 4 different levels of personal trainers, tier 1 all the way to 4. All of them have different pricing structures. The pricing can vary between whether you buy 6 sessions or you buy 100. So if it's 6 sessions, it may be $100 an hour. If you buy 100, it will drastically be discounted, might go down to 60. So in order to not get people confused, it's like if I tell you, hey, it's going to be $60 an hour, and they come in and I show them 100 and they're like, but wait, I thought you said it was 60. Well, it can be 60 if you invest $6,000 up front. So we don't do that. And I want people to see the value. If I just give you a price and you don't come in and experience it, you can't associate why it's $100 an hour. If you come in, you meet with us, you meet with me, you see our facility, you see what we can do. Now the $100 for some people doesn't sound so bad. They're like, oh, it's just $100 an hour for this amazing service that I get. So I don't want to give people too much information and then have them just see the dollars rather than the experience and start that journey with something that they believe in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So
okay.
The reason I brought that up is because it's something that I've debated with you over the years and within myself. I think of a time when we were at Ursa a long time ago. I forget who it was, but we got into this heated debate on whether or not you should show your prices. And back then, I was like, you're crazy. And I gave them the spiel you just did. I think everyone needs to hear my pitch to believe that I have the value behind my cost. And now I'm like totally opposite. If you just, if I say my programs start at $400 a month,
I'm fine with that.
I think that is a price point that now deters a lot of people that weren't willing to take out the $69.99 for a monthly membership and gets them out of my way. Yes. Right. Do I maybe scare off a few people that I might have been able to talk into a program that was $350? Maybe. But I think it saves me so much more time by not having these little,
And I also think it's different if you are doing it on your own rather than being in a large company with like the tiers and things. If I say starting at, let's say tier 1 is $300 a month, but all my tier 1 coaches are completely full and I have to put you with a tier 4, you're like, wait, I thought you said it started at $300 a month.
Yeah, now it starts at $400.
Right, now it starts at $400. Now I look like an asshole, but it's just because the scheduling doesn't work out. Or maybe my tier 1 coaches have availability, but not at the times that you want. My only coach that's available is a tier 4 head trainer, and her prices are a little bit more expensive. So I think that's where it gets a little weird. I think if you're a studio, something like you're doing, something like Jen's doing, then yes, you guys can put your prices online. You can tell people straight up. I probably would too, honestly. It saves you time. You're freaking busy, man. You've got to do everything. You've got to do the marketing, the planning, all the CAD stuff with where everything's going in your gym, and
it's totally true. So with that, a little intro.
We're 10 minutes in and we're not even talking about the episode yet. So let's get going.
So hold on though. I actually thought that was a pretty good segue as far as we talk about tiers, we talk about experience. Well, here we are today talking about certifications and experience.
Yeah.
What makes those trainers go from a tier 1 to a tier 4? Do they need all these certifications? Where do they start? This is a conversation that we actually wanted to have today, and it does play really well into that. So if we are talking about trainer certifications, you need to have something to get started, or do you? I always ask, my first question is, where do you want to work?
Yep.
If you want to work online, you don't need anything.
Nope.
You just create a free Instagram account and tell people you're a trainer, take selfies in front of a barbell. If you look good naked, that helps a lot too. Right?
Yeah.
Almost more than a certification if you're going online.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That sounds so bad, but it's like kind of true.
Oh, it is.
But if you're going to work in a top tier strength and conditioning facility where you're training student athletes, you better have a degree in a CSCS.
Yep.
But, and we'll dive a little deeper into that. But I think at the end of the day, you're always going to hear me say experience over education every single time.
100%. I always look for certain certifications when I'm doing interview processes and things like that. A lot of the times I'll see people that are coming from group exercise and they have like a bunch of group exercise certifications, and then they apply to be like a personal trainer or a fitness director. It's like, well, you didn't take the right steps to get there. So it's all like Kyle said, what do you want to do? Where do you want to work? A great example that I always see is someone goes and gets like a kettlebell certification, a TRX certification. They spend all that money going and doing it. And then like, what do you really use it for? Are you getting a kettlebell certification and then you're just having people do farmer's carries and kettlebell swings? Did you really need a certification to do that? Or are you just a cert chaser? Which is probably one of my favorite. I think I made that up, like cert chasers.
I think it, and I got it from you for sure.
Okay. All right. So a cert chaser, for those of you that don't know, if I look at your resume and you have 12 or more certifications, you're going to the bottom of my pile. That may be a shock to a lot of people. That tells me that you feel like you need to be validated as a coach just by how many certifications that you need. And I don't think that's true. I have 4. And for the first, 5 years of my career, I had 1. And within a year and a half of working at Health Tracks, I was doing 60 hours of personal training a week and leading the company with personal training with 1 certification. So it wasn't the certifications that made me a good coach. It was me and the value that I had in myself and the value that my clients saw in that. And your clients don't give a damn either how many certifications you have. They really don't. They don't know what any of those letters and numbers mean at the end of your business card. I feel like we do that because we think it's going to help us get better, but you can learn a lot of this stuff just online, following good people. I'm not going to name names or anything like that. Following good people that you see the education that they're bringing with science-backed articles. We can talk about the good ones like Brett Contreras. Amazing. Like if you need information on squats and deadlifts and how to grow your glutes, I love him. Or Ben Bruno. Ben Bruno brings like this light of like hilarity and strength training into his Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and everything. Like find people that you can learn from. And I'll finish my little rant here by saying, if you want a certification, I'm not telling you not to go out and get it. If you want it, you think it's going to help you grow in your career, then please invest the time, invest in yourself so that you can start helping people more. And frankly, start making more money for yourself, because once you start getting more certifications and you become a better coach, you start charging more.
Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned Ben Bruno, who is actually one of my favorite.
I love Ben Bruno.
Influencers.
He's awesome, man.
He's hilarious for what he's worth to follow. Ben Bruno Training. Ben Bruno Strong. What's his Instagram handle?
I can't
I
remember.
know. I love the dude. And actually, if you DM him, he like literally will DM me back. Like I've had
He's
conversations. He's a
DM
good
me
dude.
too. He's a
Yep.
great dude. I said something, this was years ago, and he hit me like right back, and I was like starstruck. I was like, "Oh, Ben."
So
Yeah.
why? Not that this was like blow smoke up Ben's ass.
Yeah.
But what I actually really like about him is, if you know his background, he came from Mike Boyle's gym in Boston. I don't know if he has a million certifications, but what I do know is he worked as an intern under Mike Boyle and grinded away in a facility where they trained professional student
Top
athletes,
yeah.
heading into, semi-pro type D1 athletes. If you follow him on Instagram, he is training some of the most famous people in the world, like Chelsea Handler's on his page, like almost every single day. They train every day out of his garage. He's in slippers. Yeah. He's in slippers every single time, shorts, like a t-shirt, or he's in his pajama bottoms, living his best life.
Absolutely.
He did not go get a million certifications. He went to one of the greatest strength and conditioning facilities in New England, MBSC, and put in the work, built up his experience, changed athletes' lives before he can move out to LA and train, Hollywood athletes. But he didn't go chase certification after certification. So I guess that's kind of where I was going with it is, if you want experience and you want to work with top level athletes, you have to go somewhere and be willing to be the intern and work for free. You can't buy that experience. And I think a lot of times when people get into this industry, they just start signing up for cert after cert after cert. And you kind of touched on it earlier, and I want to double back, because if I'm hiring someone and I have two applications in front of me, one of them is 3 pages long. The second 2 pages are certification after certification, TRX, core, kettlebell, fat loss, nutrition, XYZ, postpartum this, women in strength training.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at your experience.
Right.
And if I have someone with no experience and no certifications, I'm actually going to call them first, because if they are someone I really like, I'm going to take them because I can mold them and grow them into who I want them to be, giving them the experience they want instead of collecting 15 really crappy certifications.
Right. So if I have on both sides, I've got one resume, all the certifications, but big red flag is they've been to 6 gyms in the last 3 years. Okay. Or I get the person that's got 2 certifications, and in their header, they put that they were the top personal trainer at their company for a year or 2 years, or they're the head trainer or something like that. I'm taking the person that has the experience and they're good at what they do, not how many certifications that we have. With that being said, though, some of my favorite certifications, I want to touch on this quickly, that I think that people should look at to get, because I truly believe that they will make you be better coaches. If you're into training athletes, go get a CSCS, Certified Strength and Conditioning Coach from NSCA. With that certification, you do need a 4-year degree, I believe. It used to be like that, but I still think that it's like that. So
they've actually made it harder. So they've actually leveled it up. When you went through it, they would have accepted any degree.
Oh, okay.
And I know you had like the background in PT. I forget what your degree was, but it used to be like you can literally have a 4-year degree in any field.
Oh.
Now you have to have an exercise science degree in order to take the test.
Interesting. I like that, though.
You used to be able to have a 4-year business degree
now,
and then go get your CSCS.
So the CSCS, also for those of you that don't know, if you're interested and you want to train athletes, it's not like a weekend cert. It is the hardest test that is out there. Like, it is difficult. I believe it has a 70% fail rate. Like, it's tough. So, I don't recommend making that your first certification. Just go get a CPT and then dive into that. You've got a year to get the study material and then take it. So we got CSCS. I also really enjoy the corrective exercise specialist. That one's from NASM. That was my first certification that I got after my CPT. If anybody works with Gen Pop or senior populations, CES is a great one. Take the test. It's online, so it's open book, but you still need to know your stuff because the test is timed. It really changed up my understanding of fitness for general population people. I don't recommend that you just do corrective exercise with people, but it does change how you approach programming for people. I will say that, or giving them homework or having them come into the gym on their own and what to do. And then one that I just got that I really enjoyed was the NASM Stretch and Flexibility Coach, FSC. It's like $250. Again, it's all online. Goes through stretching and how to do it. Talks about PNF stretching as well. Talks about breathing patterns. It talks about homework to give them. So at Health Tracks, we just launched at our Raleigh Center a stretch zone that we can like in-house. It's one-on-one stretching, very similar to a stretch lab. Or
I was to say, before Stretch Zone opened up down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Stretch, I don't know if you have them up north.
Yeah.
We have Stretch Zones.
We don't. So that's the Drew Brees one, right?
Oh, yeah. Stretch Lab, Stretch Zone, and there's another Stretch one that just came out. That's like the new thing right now.
Yeah, so it's a little different than Stretch Lab tends to do it. With Stretch Lab, they have what are they? Stretchologist or reflexologist? I don't know, something like that. But they have to follow a certain protocol with every single person, and it's exactly the same with every person. It's not like you get to dive into other things with them. With this certification, we leave it up to the coaches. You do what you want to do with this person because you got the certification. You can see where they are deficient in certain things. So use your knowledge and do what you need to do rather than treat everybody the same. But that's a business and people will go. So,
yeah, that's definitely an interesting one because right now stretching is like all the thing, and we need a whole episode on stretching because I am going to get really heated about what stretching is and what a tight muscle is, but this is not the episode for that.
No.
Because you're not tight, you're just weak. Yeah. Anyways, so CES, I love the CES. That's actually one of the only major ones that I have. Early in my career, I thought that I needed certifications, and that's really a big reason why I wanted to do this episode, just because I got into my first job and they were like, yeah, we'll reimburse half your money after 6 months for every certification you get. If you get more certifications, we're going to advance you in your levels and you're allowed to raise your rates. And gyms will encourage you to get more certifications. And this is one of those things where if you're doing it to get a raise, maybe because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Right.
But it never sat well with me. So I did get a TRX certification and I did get a kettlebell certification. And looking back at it, I am no better with a kettlebell now than I was before because I don't care to be a kettlebell trainer. And if you are super niche down and you love kettlebells and you want to get into, you said farmer carries and kettlebell swings, like, no. Any good trainer knows how to teach a kettlebell swing because you understand what a hip hinge is. And if you don't, you need more than a kettlebell certification. But the whole concept of like, I'm not going to do kettlebell cleans or kettlebell snatches. Right. I'm not going to do some of these kettlebell complexes or things that I don't really know how to do. Like maybe I need a certification for that. But then if you do notice those certifications, they don't even go advanced into like a kettlebell clean. So now you have to go get an advanced certification in kettlebells to go do kettlebell cleans. Like you're going down the rabbit hole. This is people trying to take all your money.
Yeah. So you said something, you said, do it for your niche. That's what you have to do. Like whatever that you want to go in your career, like that's what you have to get certifications for. That's why I chose the CES, because I knew it would help me with the people that I was seeing every single day. I did get a TRX certification too, Kyle, but I also taught 6 TRX classes every single week. And I will say that did make me like the TRX master. And I can do anything with the TRX. I think it's a good cert. I did a lot of like self-exploration for exercises, all this good stuff. So I utilized my TRX certification. If I went and got a kettlebell certification and I was a new coach, guess what? You should go out and teach 6 small group kettlebell classes every single week. Don't just have it in your repertoire and be like, oh, well, I'm certified in kettlebells. Okay, cool. Like, what are you going to do with it though?
Like how many workouts are done with a kettlebell?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
goes back to the experience thing.
Right. Yeah. You're going to go get a medicine ball certification next. How about a band certification? I'm sure there are things like that, which is
of course
crazy.
There are. Of course there are.
Yeah.
All right. So before we keep going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. So this was going to be a quick episode. So if I can wrap up and I'll kind of speak for you and correct me if I'm wrong. Certifications are great if we are going to utilize them. I'm fine with you getting a certification if you use it to advance your career. You want to make more money. Great. Just make sure that you're getting it in something that you will use. Don't just get something to get something so that you can apply for that raise. Like if you're at a big box gym, because you're doing a disservice to yourself and your clients. Do something that is going to help you and help the people that you are in front of. Don't just be a cert chaser to get more certifications. That necessarily doesn't validate you for being a better coach. Of my coaches that are at my facility, I probably have the least amount of certifications compared to all of them. But that doesn't make me a worse trainer. I'm not going to say that I'm a better trainer than them, but you're worth whatever that you invest in yourself in the time, your own research. And it's not necessarily just based on how much money did I spend on certifications over the last couple of years. How's that?
Totally agree.
All right, cool. All right. Very, very nice. So I guess that's it. We'll wrap this one up. Get certs, don't get certs. You choose. Doesn't make you a better coach if you're going to get them, though. This has been DTF Podcast. See you later, everybody. No, I'm joking. Kyle was going to say something.
No, it's just if you want to get better, find a mentor.
Yes. Mentors.
Find a mentor.
We should do an episode on mentors.
Done. All right, guys.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. See you later.